Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Conan Exiles Isle of Siptah. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Eldarium and Decaying Eldarium and what you can do with it, how to get it, what it's used for throughout the game. Now, Decaying Eldarium, you get this from doing the vaults that are scattered about on the map, and you can also find it from certain NPCs, normally the NPCs that you summon through a surge. These are the locations of the vaults. Now, around the vaults, you will see these braziers. You can use the Decaying Eldarium with these. It's basically a brazier, and the Decaying Eldarium, of course, acts as fuel. Now, the best place to farm the Decaying Eldarium, of course, is in the vaults. You do get plenty of it, and I believe once you have completed a vault, there is a standard timer on the vault until you can redo. I think it's somewhere around 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. But you can also modify that cooldown timer. So this is how quickly it does consume the Decaying Eldarium. It's probably not the best way of using up your Eldarium. Of course, Eldarium, or the Decaying Eldarium to be more specific, is an essential element for summoning a surge, from which you can get really good thralls and gear, so you can get tier 4 thralls and very good loot as well in general. So definitely not the best way of using your Decaying Eldarium unless you have too much of it and don't know what to do with it. But even so, there are other uses which I will cover in this video. So I just wanted to show you that all of the braziers around the ley shrines, because I keep forgetting what these things are called, have braziers, and these are of course things that you can access and put your wonderful Decaying Eldarium if you want to waste it. Honestly, I see no purpose for this, but I just thought I might as well show you it. So what do you do with your Decaying Eldarium? Well, you place it in a furnace with some fuel, and then you start up the furnace, and it will do, well, it will craft it into Eldarium. Now, Eldarium is the ingot or bar of Eldarium that you see in the crafting queue. That is another very important element that you will need throughout the game. This is a very important resource. Now, one of the very first things that you can do with it is when you do summon a surge, there is at the bottom of the ley shrines that allow you to summon a surge a lever. You will put it in there and you will craft a lever, and then once you've done that, you can then pull the lever to put up walls around your ley shrines to protect your thralls from prying eyes, although that's not very useful, seeing as the ley shrine shows the surge on the whole map, so everybody will be able to see it. But this is how you craft the Eldarium bars, and I'm leaving this out for a couple of minutes here so you guys can see the crafting speed. Of course, I do not have a thrall, so you might want to put a thrall in your furnace simply because you will get better value for the Eldarium, for the Decaying Eldarium that you put in. So definitely worth having a thrall. I'm just doing this without a thrall so you guys can see the crafting speed. I'd probably put it in the furnace, turn on the furnace, walk away and do some other stuff until it's crafted for me. Now, of course, with the Eldarium, or the Eldarium bars as I'll probably call it throughout this video from time to time, you can use that to craft the new armors and weapons, but there's also another use for it, so I'll show you that in a bit. So over here we have the Delving Bench, which is a new item that you can learn and craft in the game. And once you've crafted it, put it down just like any other crafting bench. You will put the Eldarium bars in it, and then you can place, I would say, rare and unique weapons in the inventory. As you can see in the upper right corner, says weapon or armor in there, plus Eldarium bar plus time equals question mark. So basically, some of them will yield a recipe, others will not. Now, what I've done here in my inventory, just so you guys know, is I've basically went for all of the flawless weapons and spawned in random items. Some of these might be from the Exile lands. I didn't actually look at their names. I just randomly spawned in things. Also, very important to note is that not each item, not every item will give you a recipe. As you can see, it also destroys the item, but you can of course repair it if you have the resources. So maybe it's worth reusing the same item once you find an item that does yield a recipe. I haven't actually tested to see if you place in the same item over and over and over again, if it gives you different recipes, or if the recipes are somehow connected to what item you put in the delving bench. I would think that there is some sort of connectivity. We'll have a look at that later on in a separate video. This is simply for the Eldarium. So that is the aim of this video. I just want to show you that not every item will yield something. Also very important to note here is the fact that not every item can be put in the delving bench. We got 2 recipes right here. Now let's talk about crafting. Eldarium is of course a resource that is kind of required for the purposes of crafting the new armor sets that you get in the game. So over here, as you can see, these is what you require. Now of course, if you do have a thrall in the blacksmith bench, it will take up or require less resources. Because I don't have a thrall in there as of yet, it does cost me quite a bit. Now these are just a few of the items that will require Eldarium. There's plenty more to learn. I'm just going to get rid of these. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, you get the unstable Eldarium from the vaults. Probably the best place to go and farm it. The most important things to remember about that is each of the existing vaults on the map have their own difficulty. So the more difficult the vault is, the more you're likely to get. There are also many puzzles to go through, and of course, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, please do correct me, that there is a reset timer for each vault of 90 minutes, possibly 2 hours, so keep that in mind. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.